claiming the documents are proof that Facebook knows that anger and outrage draws users in and keeps them on the platform longer. She says amplifying the divide in this country and around the world. Tonight, what she says Facebook knowingly does involving its users. Last night's reveal, the whistleblower and this massive outage today have not been linked, but it's been a very challenging 24 hours at Facebook. ABC senior national correspondent Terry Moran leading us off tonight.
Tonight, major outages affecting billions of users of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. All of it starting this morning and continuing through the day. All of the sites owned by Facebook. In a statement, Facebook acknowledging they are experiencing network issues and teams are working as fast as possible to debug and restore. All this chaos coming just hours after Facebook's whistleblower revealed her identity overnight on CBS's 60 Minutes. Frances Hogan worked at Facebook for 2 years but left in May after her civic integrity unit was disbanded following the 2020 election. She leaked thousands of pages of internal Facebook research that she says shows the social media giant knowingly stokes divisions, spreads misinformation, and harms younger users for its own profit.
The version of Facebook that exists today is tearing our societies apart.
Hogan saying the more anger Facebook users are exposed to, the more time they spend on the site and the more content they consume.
Facebook makes more money when you consume more content. People enjoy engaging with things that elicit an emotional reaction. And the more anger that they get exposed to, the more they interact and more they consume.
Misinformation, angry content is enticing to people and keeps them on the platform.
Yes. Facebook has realized that if they change the algorithm to be safer, people will spend less time on the site, they'll click on less ads, they'll make less money.
Hogan says Facebook put some safeguards in place leading up to the 2020 election to cut down on misinformation and anger, but then
as soon as the election was over, they turned them back off, or they changed the settings back to what they were before to prioritize growth over safety.
Facebook pushing back hard hours after the 60 Minutes piece aired. We continue to make significant improvements to tackle the spread of misinformation and harmful content. To suggest we encourage bad content and do nothing is just not true.
So right there, Facebook and Instagram was down. No one can get to Facebook, Instagram within a range of 6 to 7 hours. And now all of a sudden, Facebook come under scrutiny now with a whistleblower. Yes, a whistleblower named Frances Hogan testified amongst Congress to give her thoughts on why Facebook was trying to, she's saying that Facebook is weak on cybersecurity and hate speech, and saying that Instagram is just there to ruin young girls' self-esteem. You won't believe, take a look.
The version of Facebook that exists today is tearing our societies apart.
Frances Hogan's making a big impact amongst Congress, being a former Facebook employee. Now she's no longer with Facebook. You got to wonder about Mark Zuckerberg. What Zuckerberg thinks of all this stuff? Zuckerberg got to be thinking like, oh man, everything just coming amok. And now folks wanted the government trying to figure out ways to regulate Facebook. I mean, Facebook been around, but I feel like this. Facebook is just that. It's an algorithm. It's here to stay. You just have to figure out, you can regulate it, but Facebook gonna still do what they want to do. And that's what Frances Huggins, the former Facebook employee, said. So it's been a wild whirlwind week for Facebook, if you know what I mean. Also, too, in celebrity news this week, only one man knows go beyond. You heard that saying on Star Trek. Well, it could be a possibility as Captain Kirk himself, William Shatner, could be heading to space. You get the latest with this.
The Final Frontier. Tonight, 55 years after Star Trek began, a new mission for Captain Kirk.
Boldly go where no man has gone before.
William Shatner making it official today. He's going to space, saying, I've heard about space for a long time now. I'm taking the opportunity to see it for myself. What a miracle.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
He'll be on board the next Blue Origin space flight next Wednesday.
Gentlemen, I suggest you beam me aboard.
Of course, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos already on board when it first took off in July. And now Shatner, at 90 years old, will be the oldest person ever into space, saying, yes, it's true, I'm going to be a rocket man, adding it's never too late to experience new things.
Saw right there, Captain Kirk, William Shatner will be joining Jeff Bezos' aircraft to go to space. He'll be there for 10 minutes. Will Shatner will make history as the oldest person in space. And I can't believe the man is 90 years old and still active. Oh my God, William Shatner is a living legend indeed. A living legend indeed in that. All right. From that story, we move on to talk shows. On talk shows this week. Former journalist and former talk show host Katie Couric, who used to be on the Today Show, and then she had her own CBS Evening News. We'll get to that later. Well, Katie Couric comes out swinging with a new book, a new tell-all book saying going there. She bashes Deborah Norville. She bashes Ashley Banfield. She bashes even Larry King. Rest in peace. Larry King just recently passed earlier this year. She bashes him. Let's get the story on Katie Couric going there.
Crack is whacked.
Diane's infamous Whitney interview? Katie's quoted calling it exploitation of troubled people in service of tawdry tidbits and sensational sound bites.
What risks did you think you were taking to do this?
Woman who had twins at 57, Katie jokingly writes, I wonder who she had to blank to get that.
2,881 shows, roughly.
Quote, that woman must be stopped, and I love that I was getting under Diane's skin. That's from Katie's memoir, Going There, out this month and excerpted by the New York Post. Sawyer hasn't commented, but once told us this about her rival.
We're all family in the morning. Across networks we are, and we all know what it is to be able to do it as well as she has done it all these years.
However, in the book, Couric claims both women weren't above flattering whoever stood in the way of a big get.
Well, the truth is what we are all striving for.
Yeah, it is.
Between this and Katie's Matt Lauer revelation, some morning show fans are now convinced Jennifer Aniston's character is based on Couric.
Have you been able to stay in touch with Matt? I mean, that's kind of a personal matter.
I'm not interested in talking about Mitch.
You came to see me.
Like Katie, Jen reaches out after his sexual misconduct firing and even writes a memoir about it.
I'll go back and look at the manuscript.
I think Jennifer Aniston is great. I thought it was really interesting to watch.
Last year on the podcast Everything Iconic with Danny Pellegrino, she'd be detailing her feelings about the morning show in this memoir.
I think the long-term impact and the serious devastation that results from certain behaviors was quite well represented.
Katie Couric ruffling a lot of feathers this week. Even she was going to appear on CBS, but CBS don't want her to appear and try to bash them on her parade, on their parade. So she kind of got to go to the Today Show. Hopefully she didn't score no settles with the Today Show NBC brass. She didn't say too much about NBC. Even she spoke up highly about Matt Lauer, what he was going through, and a lot of people saying Katie Couric was trying to be a shield for Matt Lauer, and Katie Couric revealed a lot about being for herself. I understand and get that, but I guess that's what it be like that sometimes. Even Ashley Banfield had this to say.
I learned from the Daily Mail on a heck of a scoop they got that one-time colleague of mine, Katie Couric, has written a memoir. It is called Going There. It's due to come out next month. There's the cover. And in it, the Daily Mail has discovered that it is none too kind to some of her female colleagues, particularly Martha Stewart, to whom she is not very complimentary, and Deborah Norville, who was a colleague of hers on the Today Show, and me. I ended up in that book as well. And I have to say I was pretty stunned to find out what Katie wrote. First I was scared, then I was surprised, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, Ashley, don't worry about it. Katie Couric is just living her life and telling her speech, and you're just on News Nation giving your speech and living your life. So it's just like, if she said what she said, let her be on Katie Couric, not on you. You had nothing to do with it, but Katie Couric probably felt jealous and probably felt threatened by Ash Banfield. Who knows? So you never know in this situation. All right, speaking of another Today Show alum. Today Show alum, forgot the lady name. Today Show alum, here comes. She's gonna join the talk. She was on Access Hollywood. Forgot the lady name. But if you know what I'm talking about, check it out right here.
On the talk starting next Monday, but we couldn't wait to share the news. So she's popping in right now. Let's give a big talk welcome to Natalie
Welcome. You guys have embraced me with such open arms, and I love chatting with each of you. As you all know, I had an incredible relationship almost as long as I've been married. I've been married 23 years. I was at NBC for 22 years. So I had a wonderful time there, but it's always exciting and new to, start something different. And I love this new adventure that we're all going to be taking together.
Natalie Morales. Yes, Natalie Morales. Natalie Morales joining the talk. So Natalie Morales might add that little spin for them to give them the extra boost. So congratulations, to Natalie Morales. Wow, I forgot about her name. And this all right, we'll be back with more Take. Don't go anywhere. This is a Take on Connect.